Welcome back to Waking Up is Hard to Do. Today I'm going to read chapter 3. But before I continue, if this content is helpful for you, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. You never know who you might help. Chapter 3. The next topic I want to explore with you is self love. When you hear that term, what comes to mind for you? I have received responses such as taking myself shopping, getting a mani pedi, going to a day spa, or doing yoga and meditation. None of these answers are wrong. I would like to invite you to spend some time to consider this question and what it looks like to you. Everyone's self care and self love routines differ greatly. Sadly, this term didn't even exist to me until a few years ago. I'd spent my entire life chasing love and acceptance from all the wrong places. Never once did it occur to me that before giving my love and energy to another being, I should give it to myself. In doing this, we teach people what we find to be acceptable behavior towards us, what we will or will not allow in our lives. I thought it was my job to love someone else and that their job in return was to love me back. Ha! No, that is backwards. But it is what life had taught me. This is another area of my life being abandoned by my parents and then passed around from family member to family member had a major effect on. I had convinced myself I was unlovable and no one would ever want me. I based this perception on the behaviors of others and not my actual self worth. I would say by the time I was 12 or 13, I had zero self worth. I was, by 15, I was addicted to meth, which was introduced to me by my mother. I used to blame her for my addiction, and I still wonder at times if she is to blame when I was a young being just trying to get her attention and wanted to do what she did, thinking it would bring us closer. But in my heart, I know the answer always comes back to free will. Anywho, back to self love. Self love requires knowing yourself inside and out. If you do not fully know yourself at the place you are now, how are you supposed to experience any growth? Getting to know ourselves can be such a crazy, beautiful, and painful journey. This requires complete honesty with self and no outside influences. This can take some bravery and willingness to see and love the darker parts of ourselves as well. Do not let someone else's beliefs alter the way you see your beauty. We are all so unique, but spend so much time trying to fit into a society that is misguided, and programmed to see the worst in people, not the best. We are all gifted with free will at birth, yet how many of us exercise that gift to its fullest potential? We all have an internal guidance system we are born with. We are taught to ignore it, though. Learning to use this guidance system is part of any good self love and self care routine. It is this guidance system that will always guide you in the right direction for your growth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's time to choose you and sit with yourself in quiet and let your thoughts flow freely. Do not engage them and do not judge them. Just let them flow. This is where the magic happens. You get to know the real you that you hide from the world. Enjoy this process. Approach it with childlike wonder. Do not recoil if you come across a shadow part of yourself. Embrace it and learn from it what you can. We are taught that those are the parts we should hide the most, but that just stunts our growth. We are taught that anything less than perfect is unacceptable, but this is just not true. Besides, my definition of perfect is going to be different from anyone else's, so why would I want to live life according to anyone else's ideals? I would like to suggest asking yourself a few very important questions. The first being, who are you when no one is watching? Is that the you that brings joy to your heart? If it is, then why are you hiding it from the rest of the world? Within that self you feel isn't good enough to share with the outside world is the unique essence and perspective you bring into this life with you. Within that self is where your light resides, where your gifts and talents are waiting to be discovered. I hope you enjoy your journey to self love and acceptance. That's the end of that chapter. I can't express how important it is to take the time to love yourself. No one's going to love you the way that you do. It's more important than anything else. We're taught to be selfish from a young age. We're taught to take care of our family and friends that are in need, and by all means, please do. We all need help sometimes. But what we seem to forget is that we need help too. We need to love ourselves. We need to care for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with saying no when you don't want to do something. There's nothing wrong with saying yes to yourself, which is exactly what you do when you say no to somebody else. Being selfish is okay. Self care is actually the most selfless act you can do. You're making sure that you're okay for the people around you. Fill your cup up, let it overflow. It's a beautiful thing. It takes a while to get used to, but once you get the hang of it, you won't regret it, I promise. Again, if this material is helpful for you in any way, please share it with people that you love. You never know what it might do for them. Thank you for joining me again, and I hope to see you back, and I hope to see your comments down below. Have a great day.